So, hello all of you. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Learn with Pam. So, in this video, we'll learn in detail about the stored procedure. So, in this video, we'll take a comprehensive overview on the stored procedure. So, what actually is the syntax and what are in which cases we are using the stored procedure, what are the benefits, all those stuff we'll learn in this particular video. So, first slide you can see on the screen introduction. So what actually is the stored procedure? So first we'll see the definition of the stored procedure. So stored procedures are precompiled collections of one or more SQL statements. So basically, as we saw in the SQL there are single statements. So but in the stored procedure it's a precompiled block of code which consists of number of small statements. Those might be DDL, DML and so on, that perform a specific task. So they are stored in the Oracle database and can be executed repeatedly. So this is a very important point, that once we compile the stored procedure, so it's one time compilation activity. So it's compiled only one time. So when it is compiled, it is permanently stored on the database and we can use it repeatedly n number of times as per our requirement. So this is the definition of the stored procedure. Next, what are the purposes or the benefits of the stored procedure? So first benefit is modularity. So the stored procedure allow breaking down the complex task into the smaller manageable units. So this is the first benefit, that it is a modular. So if at all there is a complex problem, then it can be resolved or decomposed into the smaller and manageable units. Then next we have code reusability. So how the code can be reused? So this, once a stored procedure is created, this procedure can be reused by other parts of the application or by other applications also. So once you create a stored procedure and once you store on the database, this can be created in multiple applications. This can be used in the multiple applications. Simply you need to execute that procedure. So once you execute that procedure, you will get fetch all the data, or all the manipulation can be done at one click. So this is the benefit of code reusability. Next, enhanced performance. So how it is enhanced performance is achieved? So let's see. So stored procedures are precompiled, as I stated earlier, leading to the faster execution times compared to the ad hoc SQL statements. As already is compiled, so compilation time is avoided or it is saved when we run the stored procedure. Like the SQL statements takes time to compilation. So as this procedure is pre-compiled, it will be faster than the SQL statements. Then next we have security. So permissions on the tables can be restricted and users can be granted access only to execute the specific stored procedure. So again we can grant or revoke the permissions for stored procedure. Next, why use stored procedure in Oracle? So it is improved performance, as I stated earlier. The stored procedures reduce network traffic by executing multiple SQL statements with a single call. So they are precompiled, optimized and cached, resulting in faster execution. Next, we have code reusability. So as we saw in the previous slide also, so procedures encapsulate the business logic, making it easier to reuse the same logic in different parts of the application. So this procedure, once we create, it can be used in variety of the or in the many applications. Simply you need to call the procedure or simply you need to execute the procedure. Next we have security. So fine grained access control allows for restricting direct access to the tables. Users can be granted execution privileges on the procedures. Next, simplified maintenance. So changes to the business logic can be made in a single stored procedure, avoiding the need to update the logic in the multiple places. So again, if you want to change the business logic, you can change at a single place itself. So this is the very important point. So this is why the stored procedures are used in the Oracle. Next, we have this in this slide. You will see the syntax of creating the stored procedure. So create procedure statement we have. So by firing the create procedure statement, you can create the stored procedure. For example, you can see in this snippet, that create or replace procedure, and this is the procedure name. So the procedure name is user defined. You can give any name to the procedure. Next we have parameter. Now this is in parameter and you have to specify the data type. Suppose I want to pass the number. So you can specify the parameter like a, then in, and data type will be number. So likewise parameter 2, if I want to take out the parameter like varchar 2, if I want to fetch employee name, then I can give the parameter name as like p underscore e name, and out we have to specify the out parameter, and data type will be varchar 2. So likewise you can specify the parameters into this parenthesis. Next is, and next after is you have to declare the cursor, you can declare the variables and so on. So this is the declaration section. Next begin block. So in begin block all the DML operation or business logic is implemented in the execution section in the begin block. And next there is exception. So this section is used to handle any errors. So if at all any errors are coming, like exceptions are of different types, like no data found, then if too many rows are returning or too many values are returning, zero divide error, or if invalid cursor is there. So likewise different exceptions may rise. So those exceptions are handled in this exception section. And last you have to write the end section. Next, you can see this input and output parameters. So parameters can be in parameters, out parameters, and in out parameter. So again, a single parameter will can be act as an in and out parameter a whole. Then in parameters are used to pass values into the procedure, and out parameters are for returning the values. Next, and in out for the both. So in and out parameters can be act as a input as well as output. Next, we have exception handling. So use exception blocks to handle the errors gracefully. So common exceptions like as I told you, no data found, too many rows, and so on. Next, anatomy of a stored procedure. So first we have header section. So this is the header section. So which contains the procedure name and parameter list. So this particular is a header section. You will see here. So this is the header section in which you will see there is a name of procedure and the parameters. Next we have declaration section. So this is the declaration section in which we declare the variables as well as the cursors. Next execution section where we are, which contains the actual code of the procedure, or we can say which may consist of DML operations or any other DDL operations. So this is the execution section. Next, last we have exception handle section. So exception handling section, in this section we are handling the exceptions which may rise during the runtime of the procedure. So those exceptions can be like with this exception blocks handles exceptions that may occur during the execution of the procedure. So those exceptions can be too many rows, too many values, no data found. So likewise many exceptions may rise. So those are handled into this exception block. So in detail we will solve some codes or some programs in the upcoming video. So stay tuned. In the next video we will cover in detail real life world problems regarding the stored procedure. So that's all for this video. So if you found this information pretty good, please do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. So thank you all and have a wonderful day ahead.